Hello, and thanks for checking out Positively Psyched with Rod Loud. One of my favorite things to do as a psychotherapist is to do premarital counseling. Asking questions that a couple have never asked themselves, or bringing up topics they have avoided or not known the importance of discussing, provides key insights into the strengths and weaknesses of their relationship foundation, or as I view it, their garden. Questions such as, are you going to have kids, and if so, how many? Or whose job will take priority if one of you gets transferred? Help to spotlight neglected or troubled areas of the relationship that need to be tended to. Unfortunately, I don't get to do as much premarital counseling as I'd like to do, as most couples feel they don't need it. The divorce rate would likely go down if more couples took the time to really examine, and I mean really examine, all aspects of their relationship prior to getting married. If you are considering getting married, here are 5 key questions to ask before you say those 2 life-altering words, I do. And please, do some premarital counseling. So here we go. Question number 1. What are the tools and skills that you and your partner use to keep your relationship healthy and growing? If you use the shovel to hit your partner over the head with when they screw up, you're using the shovel wrong. A relationship is a living entity, just like a garden. Great gardeners have a tool shed full of tools that they use to tend the garden on a daily basis. Becoming a great relationship partner is a learned skill, and one has to have the right tools as well. Tools such as forgiveness, empathy, patience, gratitude, humility, flexibility, communication, how anger and disappointment are expressed, and more need to line the walls of your tool shed. They can't still have the price tag on them. Without these, over time the garden relationship will suffer and the relationship will start to die. Having a clear understanding of what you and your partner do well in the relationship and what toxins each of you bring into the relationship need to be crystal clear. Take time to look at the tools and skills each of you bring to the relationship and which ones are missing or not being used correctly. Question number 2. Have you and your partner created a shared vision of what you want to create and grow as a couple? If you're blinded by love, be prepared to walk into things you did not expect to be there. Many people get married without having a detailed plan of where they want to go as a couple, what they want to grow, and how they're going to reach this shared vision. They believe they will figure it out along the way. This sets the stage for disagreements and fighting to infest the relationship. As any goal is harder to reach without a plan, not knowing where you're going as a couple can lead to feeling lost in the relationship. Thus, creating focal points, goals, help a couple to work together to create a relationship that is satisfying to both partners. Don't wing it. Work together to mold a relationship vision that works for the both of you. Question number 3. Have you experienced the 4 seasons, and what did you learn? And I'm not talking about a stay at a fancy hotel. Well-functioning relationships are able to survive difficult times and grow and adapt as the environment around them changes. Just as one needs to prepare for a harsh winter, a couple needs to devise a blueprint for how they are going to get through tough times. All couples experience situations that test their commitment to each other, their compatibility, their skill at keeping the relationship healthy. These are normal things. Becoming a great relationship partner is a learned skill. Thus, it takes time and effort. When you're first dating, it's like summer, peaceful, calm, exciting, and warm. Fall happens, the honeymoon is over, and then winter comes and the garden may struggle. Often the environment changes from being on one's best behavior to stormy weather as one's baggage starts to surface. Weeds start to grow in the garden. If you haven't experienced all 4 seasons of your partner-to-be, for example, how do they interact or avoid family members during holidays? Do they agree or resist some of the rituals? Whose family rituals will take priority? How does your partner function when things are easy versus times when they are difficult? These are important questions. This is why it's so important not to rush the altar. You need time to see how your relationship does in each season and to see how well the 2 of you deal with any issues that come about. Question number 4. Are there any red flags that are being ignored? and just painting them green will not make them any less dangerous. Most of us know the fairy tale where the prince rescues the damsel in distress, and they ride off into the sunset to a place called Happily Ever After. Did you ever watch the movie Pretty Woman? Many people think that in some way there's a truth to this insipid tale. Relationship rescue missions usually end up with the rescuer getting blown to bits as the damsel is in distress. Neither the rescuer nor the damsel has reached great relationship partner status, and thus the relationship is doomed from the start. In our modern world, rescuers are not limited to just the masculine side of the universe, nor are those in distress always representing the feminine aspect of the universe. Happily Ever After has a little-known subtitle: Be Attending the Garden on a Daily Basis. If getting married has anything to do with living out a fairy tale, you may want to reevaluate the situation. Rescuers, send the white horse out to pasture and take off the shining armor. Stop trying to prove that you are lovable because you can save somebody. Those distressed, start working on getting out of distress. Stop looking for someone to save you. Both rescuers and damsels need to work on their relationships with their own problems, such as relationships with depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, and other issues. Because these are relationships, the dynamics of the relationships can be changed. These problematic relationships don't need to keep you in pain forever. Question number 5. Who do you want to model your marriage after? If it's the paid assassins, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, things might get a bit rough. The relationship that our parents have or had affect us more than most of us want to admit. It is from their teachings and behaviors that we learned about how partners are supposed to love and treat each other, or the opposite. Tools such as forgiveness, empathy, patience, flexibility, mindfulness, and gratitude help you to create an environment where intimacy can grow deep roots. As a therapist and spiritual being, I believe the most valuable thing in the universe is deep love and intimacy. A lot of people are good at creating moments of intimacy. Relations suffer when one or both partners are not very good at protecting the intimacy. The tools listed above assist in defining the values and morals that will be the soil of the relationship. Thus, it's very important that you examine what toxics each of you bring to the relationship and how you're going to work in keeping them out of your garden. And to have clearly defined morals and values that are going to be the foundation of your relationship. Only relationships with strong foundations will stand up to the test of time. And there'll be plenty of tests along the way, for sure. Thus, having a well thought out and constructed vision for your marriage is essential for the success of the relationship. Make sure to ask yourself and your partner as many questions as possible regarding expectations for the marriage. Leave no stone unturned in the garden. Hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you found this helpful. And until next time, namaste.